If I could go back in time and help my younger worship leader self maximize his potential as a leader and kickstart him in ministry, I would tell him to do these 3 things. Number 1, think like a producer. You know, a producer on a movie set is the one who gets a director and a script, a team, and from start to finish, sees a project of a movie get to the theaters or to the online delivery. You know, a music producer does the same thing with a band. They're in the studio, helping bands pull out the bad parts of their songs, keep in the good stuff so they can have an album worth listening to. But what I want you to think about as a producer yourself is that you have full control over your band. Sure, there are different variables that are in play with musicians showing up or not showing up, practicing or not practicing, but ultimately that rests on your shoulders to be the one who knows the parts in and out, who's talking with your team day in and day out. Maybe not every single day, but you know what I mean. Regular contact. You're the person who knows their lives, you know what they're going through, you know their schedules to some degree. You're the one who is intimately involved in the details, not just of the songs, but of your band members. That's what a producer does. They know their people and their skill level, and then knows how to really organize that energy to create something beautiful. So what does that look like for you as a producer? Maybe what that means is getting to know your people a bit more. For me, that was a huge thing when I first started out. Maybe it's during your Sunday rehearsals and you need to really learn the songs more so that when somebody's overplaying, you can tell them, hey, stop overplaying, play this instead. Maybe being that producer is reaching out to your people and having coffee with them, talking with them on the phone. But whatever it is, a producer is responsible for the end product. And us as worship leaders, we're responsible for our team and for these Sunday services, these worship sets that we put together. But if we don't start thinking like producers, then we're gonna miss out on a huge component that's gonna really push our worship teams into all they can be. They need a producer. They need you. Number 2, I tell myself to set it and forget it. For a lot of my early years, when it came to building set lists and planning for Sundays, I would tinker with and just adjust to no end my Sunday set lists. I remember one time when I wasn't a worship leader, but I was playing bass on a worship band. I was at rehearsal for Sunday morning, on time, bass on, ready to go. And the worship leader came in 10 minutes late, sunglasses on, big old binder in one arm with full of papers and a guitar in the other hand. And he walked up to the platform, put his guitar down, grabbed this binder and boom, threw it on the platform. Paper spread out everywhere. And he said, "What songs do you guys want to do today?" And I remember that moment just feeling so terrified. I already knew I was going to rehearsal not knowing what we're playing, but the worship leader doesn't even know what he's playing yet. I remember thinking, I would love for this to not be the case. I wish he would have just created a set list and given it to me even an hour in advance so I could listen to the songs one time through. And it's convinced me up until this point in my life that I'm a big fan of batch planning, a big fan of early emails now. It's just the name of the game. You gotta give your people the songs on time or even earlier in advance. And trust me, it's gonna mean more to them than you ever know. And number 3, dial in your nutrition. I know it's probably weird to talk about nutrition on a worship leader channel, but man, I am so convinced that if you can eat well, then you're set up to lead well. When I was just starting out, I was maybe 17, 18 years old. I was 5'5", maybe $125 in weight, just a little guy. There's nothing wrong with being little, but I was little for the wrong reasons. I wasn't eating well. I was eating junk food, which would give me stomach aches, which would make me not want to eat. I'd get super tired from not eating, so I would slam coffees. That would then give me a stomach ache, and I wouldn't even really feel that energized from drinking the coffee. So I would be lethargic during serving times at the church. I'd be tired, I would sleep terrible. And it was this cycle of just always feeling tired and sick. And I just thought that was normal. And it wasn't until I met my now wife, my then girlfriend, that my eating habits were not serving me well personally or her well or the ministry well. I wasn't able to show up in the way that I needed to show up for people. I went on this journey of learning about nutrition, what feels good in my stomach, what gives me energy for the day ahead, what helps me go through a whole Sunday not feeling totally exhausted. But what I learned over the years is just one simple thing. I gotta eat more food. And for me personally, I've gotta eat red meat every day I've got to eat carbs every day. I got to have good fats in my diet every day because I just need all the protein, all the carbs, all the fats to sustain the energy that I need for the responsibilities in my life. And what I learned is that not only is good food gonna fuel me, but it's gonna heal me. I hope the same thing for you too. Like, I had these terrible gut issues, and through eating enough food, and I think specifically red meat, I know this may be controversial, but I've healed my gut. So obviously nutrition isn't the only thing that's gonna affect your ministry life, but if you don't have your nutrition dialed in, then you're not setting up a good foundation for your ministry. So I know that we all have, well, I know a lot of us have a complicated relationship with food. Whatever you gotta do to find answers, just do it. Maybe you gotta talk to, your fitness, nutrition coach. Maybe you need to talk to a counselor. Maybe you need to reach out to me over here on YouTube. I'd love to talk with you. Whatever you need to do to be able to get your nutrition on track. It's gonna be one of those things that you do for yourself that you don't really realize the benefits like right when you start it, but down the line, you're gonna see like, man, I am so glad I'm taking care of myself because I'm able to have this sustained energy, this sustained life, this sustained ministry because I'm feeling the tank in the way that it was designed to be fueled. And I want that for you. I want for you to have a life of ministry that has deep impact and where you feel joy, that you're a happy worship leader. And so get your nutrition on track, however you need to do it. It's gonna be one of the greatest things you ever do for yourself and for your ministry and for your loved ones. Okay, those are my 3 things I would tell myself if I can go back in time and coach myself, and I hope that they're helpful for you and your ministry. If you like this video, please give it a big fat thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. It helps us out here a lot. We're a young channel right now and want to see more worship leaders impacted by these messages. I hope you have a great week. Looking forward to Sunday. Enjoy the people at your Sunday services. Enjoy your team and love on Jesus. This is the best way to become a happy worship leader. God bless.